let's move it forward here. So Buck Showalter, we were on the air, as a matter of fact, Wednesday, talking about Buck potentially being a good fit for,
And I'm not like Harold, so I didn't know that firsthand when we were talking about how good fit that Buck would have been.
You did not. But
look, you know how you have a so-called dog in the race?
Yes.
Like who you back and everything else? I think every job that Buck interviewed for, I've been saying hire Buck Showalter. And I really think that Houston is in a situation where normalcy has left, shall we say, Houston, with all this news and what's going on. And I think there's a guy with a very good track record, very good guy that pays attention to the details, and I think he would be a great choice to come in there and say, okay, let's bring this thing back. Let's not worry about all this stuff moving forward, because let's face it, you got a guy that's lined up that can catch every day. You got a guy that can play third every day, short every day, second every day, first every day. You got a guy that plays center field every day. That's a pretty good start. You got Justin Verlander on the bump. You got Zach Greinke on the bump. That's a pretty good start right there. And I think if you bring in an established guy like Buck, I said this yesterday, with all this stuff going on and all the questions that they're going to have to answer, I still believe they're the odds-on favorite to win the American League West and possibly represent the American League in the World Series. Go get Buck Showalter.
All right, so the Astros are one of 3 teams right now. It's literally, 10% of the league looking for new managers here. Put one of these managers, whether it's a veteran manager or a brand new manager, not necessarily just in Houston, but maybe in Boston or in New York.
All right, I'm going to give you one. I look at this board and I look at these 3 teams, and I'm going to go off the grid. And I'm going to go to the New York Mets.
Okay.
We've talked about them a lot on this show. And I'm going to go with one guy, Dusty Baker. And I know that he's been an easy guy to attack because he's not part of that revolution, that new sabermetric, that analytics. But when it's all said and done, this game is about managing people. It's about managing pitchers. And let's get past this. There are so many teams and quality control coaches and bench control coaches and players in left field, center field, right field, second, third, short, and second that have a card in the back of their pocket to tell them where to play, where they're supposed to be, what time to be here. Listen, we make it really easy, but it's about managing people. And one thing about Dusty Baker, you could say what you want. I get it, no World Series championships. He did a great job in Chicago. He did a great job in San Francisco, and he won with the Washington Nationals. The guy has been a winner at every stop. He's a former player. He's handled great players. He's handled Barry Bonds. He's handled the best of the best. And I'm going to just tell you this, and I don't know what it means, but it means a lot to me. I have never come across a player, a former player, that has ever said anything bad about Dusty Baker. Never. And if you're looking for this day and age where you have to be a player's manager, this guy's a player's manager.
Yeah, and not to mention Cincinnati as well. He took them
to won everywhere he's been.
What did he win his last 2 years, 95 and 97?
Bingo.
95 and 97.
Yeah, right. So, it's
that's a lot of wins.
And Dusty has said publicly his phone has not been ringing as of yet. Bruce Bochy's another name, but Bruce Bochy, he's publicly said he's taking the year off regardless.
That's what I heard, yeah. He said, let me kick back for a year. But he'd be another good one right there. And I know that we seem to sit from the old school side, and we keep bringing up these guys that have a little bit of track record. But let's face it, track record means something.
Right.
When you talk about somebody as a player, let's say Freddie Freeman, for example, today.
Right.
All right, did we talk about Freddie Freeman today the way we talked about Freddie Freeman when he came up as a rookie? No, we do not. No. We talk about Freddie Freeman as a presence, and it means something when you have that situation where you can draw from your experiences, and we talk about Freddie in a different way than we talked about Freddie Freeman as a rookie.
And I think most established veteran baseball people that are still in the game now have had to accept analytics as part of the daily routine. I don't think if you had to talk to Dusty Baker right now, he is far more versed in analytics, as is Buck Showalter, as is Bruce Bochy, than they were 5, 6, 7 years ago. They see the value in it. Our own Joe Girardi. Joe Girardi was a little bit ahead of his time, had the binder. But I don't think... Binders.
Yeah, many.
But I don't think right now that you're not on one side of the fence or the other. You're either all analytics or you're old school. I think the managers that are successful today can blend the two together.
And not to mention, again, the Red Sox and the Astros situations, they're different than the Mets. With the Red Sox and the Astros, you might need some gravitas with just by the decision on who you hire as a manager. That's going to speak volumes in terms of integrity and character. That's going to just kind of wash away all the stuff that you're trying to get rid of.
Well, think about this, because the Astros, front office and manager.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
When you're looking at Boston's situation, you brought in a new guy to head up baseball operations. Your manager's gone.
Right.
So now Heim has a chance to use his own guy in there. I get that and see that. The New York Mets is a very interesting and completely different situation right there. But I don't think Boston's going to go with one of these experienced, crusty guys that we're talking about because I think Heim Bloom's going to actually take that. But Houston Mets can.